All right, Paul trailer. Yeah, I said this during the presentation when they first showed Paul. I think I'm the only person on Earth that thinks Paul's design looks good, but I don't like Paul. So, here we go. Paul Phoenix, my favorite character besides all the other characters.
Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger.
Oh, this is a wall. Classic.
Oh, Phoenix.
Okay, that's great. I love the personality. I love the personality here. Yeah, this is all classic Paul stuff. Ooh, blue spark effect has been changed. That's cool. I like he's smiling a lot more as well, which is interesting. Cool. What the hell was that? Was that a punish? I'm gonna have to go back through this. So it's on the 3-hit string, he has the heat dash then. That's interesting, because most of them have been just the 1-hit. Yeah, and then that was the backslay 4. Oh, he has the planet. Bring it on, you damn aliens. Oh, that's cool. After the rage off, the jacket breaks too. It's kind of Soul Calibur-esque with the clothing break system. Man, imagine Soul Calibur 7 if they have that for like every character and the clothing breaking is dynamic like it is there. Oh man, I'm sorry. I think every time I watch one of these trailers, I'm just like, imagine Soul Calibur 7 having this thing or looking like this or, oh, okay. I mean, this looked a lot more like Paul, you know, than Jin, but I guess that makes sense. You know, something interesting actually is that he didn't really have anything unique, right? If you look back at all of the other characters, including Law, like Law has the nunchucks, Jin and Kazuya both have the devil stuff, Nina has the guns. Paul didn't really have anything, right? Unless I missed it, which I might have. It's going to attack with the bicycle, just you wait. If he attacks with the bicycle, then that would be the closest I would ever come to playing Paul. Okay, let's look back through it and see. I mean, something interesting too, like I said with Paul, is that Paul's smiling a lot, right? Like, Paul doesn't really smile this much. It almost feels like Paul's kind of gotten his life back together, which is great. I really hope too that this is an indicator that they're going to be more and better character stories in Tekken 8. Which they probably are going to be, because look at Soul Calibur 6. Like, every character in that game had a 30-minute to 2-hour story of just them. So it'd be weird if Tekken 8 didn't, but Paul's eyes look weird. I agree, like the facial textures on Paul don't look right. I don't know what it is. I think it's the contrast between like the beard hair and the hair, you know? Like they don't look the same. They look like different textures, you know? It looks weird. It looks like flat, but also 3D. You can see the definition of his teeth is weird to be excited about, but look at it. Yeah. Maybe it's also because the inside of his mouth is just a void. Maybe that's also a JoJo reference. This is how I feel when I pretend to smile. I can see that. Now, okay, but this looks a lot better though. Like the actual, like, I'm not even talking about Paul. Honestly, I don't give a shit about Paul. But like the facial animations here look so good, right? Like just how everything kind of, instead of it just being like a couple of parts move, it's like the entire face moves. Yeah, compared to Tekken 7, yeah, like maybe it's not that remarkable, but just thinking about this compared to how it is in 7 is really something. It's like what they were going for with Negan on a bad. Yeah, with Negan. Oh my god, don't remind me of that. Oh, Jesus. What happened here? I'm rewinding. So that was just plus on block. I'm guessing this is a high then, right? Is this a new move? It must be a new move, right? Okay, that... While Rising 4... The animation on... Look at the animation on hit. It looks so different. So strange. Look at that step. Look at this dude. Look at this dude's step. He sidestepped right and got clipped by Death Fist. Oh man, it's not... You know, the Jin trailer made movement look real good. I did those comparisons and it looked like Jin had a bigger step, and then in comes Law, doesn't even fucking step block, gets hit while sidestepping. Yeah, blue spots look a lot better. Yeah, and then armor move. So did it do the Soul Calibur double wall bounce again? This one. Nah, it didn't really there. Like, it resplat, but... Pretty typical combo. Yeah, Demo Man. Okay, what was this? Yeah, that's a punish. What was that? Back 2-4? I mean, that's pretty cool having moves that are specifically punishers. You know, looking more like punishers. If it was like every single time someone punished, then it would get repetitive. But having like a 12 frame punish like this that can activate heat and has this dynamic sort of effect is really cool. Yeah, and that guard breaks. So Paul has 2 guard breaks in heat then, huh? Let's go back. So punishing is a visual indicator now? Well, not necessarily. Like, we've seen... Well, Jin's 12 frame punish as well also went in the heat, so maybe 12 frame punish in the heat is a universal thing if you have it. Yeah. God break into... What? The shoulders is 14, right? It's 12 of 14, but I think Paul's is 14. Fong's is 12. No, Fong's is 14, isn't it? I'm getting too caught up on this. The shoulder is 12. Okay. Oh, I completely I saw this string completely incorrectly because this was a new string, but it goes in the back sway, and then it's the back sway 1 that goes into heat. The attack though is cool, and then yeah, the rage. Rage definitely looks better now that it has, you know, the alien thing.
Strongest in the universe.
New stage looks good too, right? I kind of like it. I didn't even really notice it at first because it just works, but I like the new stage they're showing off. Yeah, I mean, Paul looks like Paul, right? I'm not really interested. And again, it doesn't look like he has anything new, but maybe his whole thing, because he has 2 god breaks. They showed the one in the battle system presentation where he can do it off of down 1-2 if you charge it. And now he can do it off of back 2-1 as well. So maybe his gimmick isn't like weapons, devil form, or nunchucks or whatever, but maybe it's just the fact that he's really, really strong and he can god break you constantly, right? Which I think makes sense. I think that's cool. That would also make sense too why they were using Paul to show off the chip damage, because Paul in the presentation was able to do chip damage outside of heat with down 1-2, but maybe that's not something that every character can do, right? Like, I mean, Elisa, for example, it wouldn't really make sense that, well, I mean, I guess maybe it could make sense if Elisa could do that. They can give her a new move. But a character like Katarina, for example, like that character just wouldn't have a move that feels or looks powerful enough to be able to do that, right? So maybe that's the unique sort of gimmick that Paul has, is that he does he can do chip damage if he charges his moves outside of heat, and in heat they become God breaks, which I think is cool. It's a hell of a lot better than it just being like every character has a move or two moves or whatever that God break, which is what they alluded to in the presentation, which was really off-putting to me. But now that I'm seeing everything come together and I'm seeing like that this is what Paul's gimmick is supposed to be, and maybe Paul's unique in this case, I think it's cool. I don't hate it. I think if it's a unique thing that some characters have where they're able to do chip damage like that, I think that's really cool. And it fits Paul extremely well. I think it's really smart. And I love that they're doing this kind of thing with every character. They're giving them more personality in their gameplay, in the moveset. I think that's great, and I think they're doing a great job at it, because everything that I've seen so far with all of the characters makes sense. Like Law's nunchucks makes sense. He's a martial arts master. It makes sense that he knows how to utilize weapons, and you know, he's also Bruce Lee. Kazuya and Jin being able to have full control over the devil form makes sense and is really cool. Nina having guns, she's an assassin, of course she would have guns. And then Paul just being so strong that he can chip damage you on block. I think that's great. Like, he can do the down one, charge his death fist, beat your ass with death fist, and like, sure, you get it, but now your forearms are fucked because he hits so hard. And it makes sense with Paul in the story because he beat Ogre, you know, like he is that strong. So I'm down. Like, I don't have any desire to play Paul after seeing this like I did with Jin, but I think now I understand everything that they're trying to do with this game. And to me, it feels like that these system mechanics that they're introducing in Tekken 8 aren't necessarily created equal for every character. The characters are given better versions or worse version of the system mechanics based on what makes sense for them as a character. And it's not to like inherently make the game more simple or complicated or anything like that, but it's just to give more options, to give more variety, to make the gameplay more interesting to play and to watch, and to make characters feel more unique. And I think that's really cool. So all in all, I don't have any more complaints really with this game. Like, the whole chip damage thing was the last thing that I was really having issue with. But now after seeing this, I really don't have a problem with it at all. I think now all that it comes down to is, like, does Paul inherently do more chip damage in heat than other characters because he's Paul, right? Does his, like, 1-2 do more chip damage in heat than another character's 1-2 would do in heat just because Paul is so strong? Like, canonically, it would be really weird if that was the case and they decided to show Paul for the chip damage, someone who has more chip damage than other characters, which is just going to make the game look worse. But I mean, that's the last place I'm at, but everything else looked great. Like, I like the direction they're going with this. I feel like I understand what the intention is behind all of this. It just feels like what they tried doing with Soul Calibur 6 with Soul Charge. And giving characters more variety and personality and making everyone feel unique. And, well, that and the lethal hits as well. And, yeah, I think that's great. This game looks great. I have no more complaints. I'm excited now.